This is my second time recording this, so I'm a little mad. I'm not mad, but it's definitely gonna affect my project here, right? I'm like trying to be vulnerable, but it's like if I've already said these things before, it's like they sort of are pre-planned, scripted. I don't know. I'm figuring out what I even want this to be, but I want to show the whole process of what I decide, whatever this posting on the internet thing is. All right, so I have been doing these political classes with my dad. I've been trying to re-educate him, and it's been going on it's like class number 2, but this has been a project that's been going on for like 3 years. I feel like, gosh, I hate doing this again. Okay. So I've been putting together this project for like 3 years, putting together. Really, the first 2 years have just been data collection, kind of just trying to talk about politics without trying to change his mind in any way, but just to collect how he likes to communicate, what is an effective way to communicate to him, what is an ineffective way, what gets him to shut down, or what hurts his ego, things like that. And so I've been thinking about this for 2 years, and this year I finally started to put together it's like a free form thing on Mac. It's like I don't know, it's just a good way to visualize things, but I've been putting this all down, all of my thoughts. I have a couple main parts of it. So I talk about lenses. This is just the structure of the free form right now. This is just how my brain kind of thinks about talking politics. I talk about the lenses through which you can explain the flaws in a system. So like, I have, let's see, there 13, 14? There's 14 lenses that I think I'll just run through them and I'll show them what they're good for. But there's environmental. So I'm thinking, if you want to point out the flaws in this system, this person cares deeply about the environment, this is a good avenue, I think, to radicalize them. Let's see, so health and psychology, same idea, right? If this is something that they care about. There's labor, class, this is all one, labor, class, like the economy, economical viewpoint. There's violence and harm reduction. I have them right here. I wrote them down. Okay. This is backwards or no? Is it always going to be backwards? No, this will be right side up, I think. This is just mirrored. It's just mirrored what I see right now. Okay. So there's all these lenses, right? There's all these lenses. I guess if you want me to talk about more, right? You can see them right here. See them right here. I then have a section where I talk about. Oh yeah, I was going to stream. This is why I repeated the video. I was going to stream my screen so you could see the freeform, but then I realized I'm like, this is it. You know, we're getting into a vulnerable place, and I'm kind of like I have to find common ground with my dad, and perhaps there's some. It's the things that have affected him the most about this system. So that kind of. I don't want to air his vulnerability out, but so I'm not gonna do that. And I don't breathe when I freaking do these videos. Okay, so I have in the beginning, I have basically this preamble of just telling him we're going into this space of vulnerability. I talked about how when we're younger and we're experiencing things that are going to shape us and traumatize us, and we create a sort of like view of a complete view of the world. We try to understand the world, you know. Like there's a time in our life when like we could have just seen a pig fly and we'd be like, okay, right, pigs fly. I didn't know that. But when you get older, it's like, you know, you kind of have a stricter, a tighter barrier, I guess, on that grasp, that viewpoint. Okay, so we have all these lenses, and then I have this purpose communications. Me saying we're getting into a vulnerable area. I'm not trying to like gotcha. I'm not trying to. I'm just like, you know, to challenge your safety, the barrier that you've created of your reality. Like to challenge that is very scary. And often when you're online, you see if you're consuming politics, like instead of just communicating, you know, doing politics and like talking and like engaging in community and you know what I mean? If you're just consuming politics, it's a very antagonistic act. Like and it feels gross. It feels like, I don't know. It's not comfortable. And you know, it's because you're challenging this ego, this your reality, and your ego's gonna protect yourself. So yeah, it's me basically saying, you know, if I'm gonna get vulnerable, I hope you're gonna be vulnerable. I didn't really frame this as like, let's go to class, I'm gonna re-educate you. It's like, hey, I want to show you my viewpoint. This is what I think, because I feel like he's never really understood my viewpoint clearly. It's always through, you know, media, other means, not directly from my mouth. Let's see, yeah. Then I got the lenses, and then I have this area that's basically just, it's our common ground, and this is why I have this, okay? It's gonna come together. This is, right, we try to establish common ground. The common ground is just a crack. It is a crack in the dam, you know? It's just this tiny bit that we could stand on together. We're on common ground. We're working together on this one, right? So through all these lenses, we have a certain amount of common ground. And my first goal was to find out what it was. So that's basically what the first class was. It was just finding all our common ground. And, you know, you can do this by directly asking questions, but also you can kind of just keep talking and listening, and you can figure this out. But I feel like I've been very open about this process with him. Like, I'm not trying to like manipulate him. So I feel like, yeah, it's like very clear what I'm doing. Like, this is our common ground. Do you agree in this? Do you agree in this? And then this is just like data collection, you know? So let's say we have like this little crack in environmental. That's right. We agree on this. This is why this system is bad for this part right here. Like maybe he likes to go to the beach. So I mean, I could totally go to like climate change, I guess, and how we are trying to infinitely grow in a finite environment. You know, I could talk about that stuff and what the effects, blah 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 blah. So let's say that's our common ground. You know, I have a ton of common ground. Not a ton of ground. We have tiny little bits. Even some might be like, let's see. I could actually probably draw the shape of the ones that we actually have. That's actually kind of fun, but yeah, I'll try to make these sizes make sense, maybe. No, I don't think that's important. Okay. But you know, there's all these common grounds. And I'm going to try to dive into one of those. I'm going to try to... Sorry, I was going to burp. Sorry. Okay, so there's these cracks. And some of them, you keep talking. You keep trying to talk. You just keep talking about things. You keep trying to communicate to them in a way that doesn't shut them down. It's these very small victories. It's just increasing that common ground a little bit, just a tiny bit. Oh, just. I'm lucky that I've been able to like physically distance myself from my parents, and that's allowed me to do a lot of healing and resolve a lot of anger, a lot of feelings I had with them. And so I feel comfortable talking to my dad about this. I feel like I was kind of, right, my mind is formed around surviving in my world and in my household, so like I know how to disarm people, especially the people that I'm around the most. I feel like I've been working for this for a long time to be able to communicate too with my parents, and so this is big for me. So yeah, we're talking, and then last time we were talking, he made a connection between. We were talking about the prison industrial complex. Let's go to where this violence, harm reduction, and incentive. Oh, we talked about incentive, and we talked about violence, harm reduction. We also talked about psychological. Yeah, and he starts to go. And we also talked about class. We talked about class as well. How poverty creates the breeding ground. Jesus, that's the only word I can come up with for violence. It's like you out of necessity, out of poor, the stress that comes with it, etc., fear, etc. Okay, so we made these connections. We're like, bam, boom. He just made a connection right there. That was too big. Okay, he just made a connection. That's cool. That's big. That's a big thing to do. That's the brain. Like, I don't know if there's got to be like some science behind also just like connecting different parts of your brain and what that does, and I don't even know what I'm trying to get into, but boom, another crack. We keep talking. Common ground's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Crack, connect, boom. Okay. These things are like, whatever. We're making these connections. and at a certain point, right, if we're imagining this as like a dam, a wall or whatever, these cracks, they're eroding. He's starting to do his own thinking. It's like, started to do his own thinking, but like Loki, but like, critically thinking, and he starts to just keep certain things in mind. I've been, part of the kind of like structure I'm doing is I've been recording, so the day one, I've recorded which lenses we sort of touched on. I recorded, what we did. I gave him, notes for next time, but I also gave him reflection questions. Things that, I'm very glad he was open to this. Like, this is huge, and I love him for it, that he's open to doing this. But I gave him, like, reflection questions of just, like, I'm not going to give the reflection questions, they're pretty deep. Like, it's like, this concept connects to your life. How do we structure this better? How do we blah, blah, blah. And he, I don't want him to, like, answer them directly to me, and I'm not really expecting that. But, like, I think it'd be cool if he just had that in his mind. I feel like, and just observing the world and sort of starting to bring these lenses, wearing these lenses, boom, there it is. And now I'm hoping that on his own he's doing they're kind of eroding, the wall is eroding, the water's starting to crack through. And then at a certain point, you just hope that enough of these kind of cracks happen, and and then hopefully it bursts, and then woke. At that point, he's a critically thinking and able to continue learning on his own. You know, like of course he continues. I think he tries to learn. I don't know. But it's his. He just watches. He consumes, and it's sort of like there's no critical thinking. It's sort of being told. Like I kind of can tell when he's giving me Fox News like verbatim. But you know, hopefully he starts doing it. He starts learning on his own, and then he's self-sufficient. And these boom, water's just pouring through. Now we got a river. A river. So the problem with that is I did that in the last time I tried to record this, and so I was like, oh, that was pretty funny though. I did kind of want to bring that back, and now I kind of drank like 2 full water bottles pretty fast. But basically, everyone's got a crack. That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone's got a crack, even if it's so tiny. Every single is so tiny. Break, yeah, that.